Well, I thought I would go ahead and do chapter 14 as I didn't do anything yesterday, and we're getting along here now that we're going to start chapter 14. I did spend some time yesterday going back and doing some editing, and I've got about maybe 15 pages out of 70 that got some small mistakes, and I'll work on those. So here is An Uncommon Gift, chapter 14. Bobby rode his skateboard home a little slower today, as he was beginning to feel a little more tired than usual. He did have to admit to himself that there had been much going on over the past few weeks, that much traveling during the week to the university, and then the weekends were seemingly jam-packed with fun things to do. Not that he was complaining, but each of the events were important, and he was getting to meet some very classy people and seeing how very successful people got to live. He rolled up his driveway and Dad's car was not home yet. He climbed the back stairs and pulled his skateboard inside as there was rain in the forecast, so he parked it in the corner where Mom kept her broom, and then, with his clarinet case in tow, headed into the living room where Mom was folding some clothes, sitting on the sofa and watching the news. "Hi, Mom," said Bobby as he bounded into the living room. "Was your day okay?" he asked. "Yes, it was fine," said Mom. "How about you?" she asked. "I am looking forward to this weekend," Bobby replied. "Hopefully we can have a nice, quiet weekend," he offered. "So far, so good," replied Mom. "Dad will be a little bit late, as he had a meeting with the mayor and a couple of city council members in his office today, as the city's liability insurance is up for renewal, and they wanted Dad to bid on it. They felt that the costs were rising too much over the past 3 years. This would be a big moneymaker for your dad if he won the bid," she continued. "Well, I hope he wins the bid," stated Bobby. "Dad sure works hard for folks to get them a great price, something they can afford," added Bobby. "Well, we'll just have to wait and see what Dad has to say when he gets home," said Mom. "Can you carry your clothes that I folded upstairs?" asked Mom. "Sure, no problem," Bobby replied as he grabbed his pile and headed up the stairs with his clarinet. He headed to his room and put them all in the right drawers and set his clarinet down on the floor by his desk and music stand. He turned on his stereo and lifted the lid on his turntable and picked up a Pete Fountain LP his dad had found in his LP shelf and gave it to Bobby to play when he wanted. He placed it on his dual 1219 table and hit the start lever, and the platter began spinning. The arm lifted and gently landed on the lead-end groove and started to play. Bobby laid on his bed with his hands behind his head on the pillow and just let the music flow around him. There was no doubt that Mr. Fountain paid attention in his music class, as Bobby knew this Dixieland music was not easy to play at all. Mark had told Bobby that often, when there are solos performed, there is no music chart written out, and the players are just making it up as they go along. This is what separates great jazz musicians, and that they can play the notes that aren't there and are good at improvising. Every time they play their solo parts, they're slightly different. Like two snowflakes are never alike. Bobby thought how great musicians like this must be, and Mark was right there with them for sure. Bobby listened to the entire first side of the LP, and as the arm automatically came back to rest in its holder, Mom called up and said that Dad had just pulled in the driveway. Bobby got up and turned off his stereo, closed the turntable lid to keep out the dust, and headed downstairs after a trip to the bathroom. Bobby saw Dad coming in the back door, and Mom was there to greet him. "Hi, Dad," said Bobby as he entered the kitchen doorway. I'm good, said Dad as he turned and gave Mary a warm kiss hello. Well, what's on tap for this weekend? Asked Dad with some excitement. Not a thing, said Mom with some joy in her voice. Maybe we get to relax for once, she hoped. Well, it is early, and the phone could ring at any moment, Dad added with a smile as he put down his briefcase in his chair at the table. How did your meeting go with the mayor? Asked Mom. Good news, I hope. I may have a good shot at landing the city insurance contract, he added with a smile. The city council is wanting to make a change, and I will give them a proposal by next Wednesday, and then we'll see how it goes over at the meeting on Thursday night, Dad concluded. This would sure be a nice commission revenue added to our growing business, he added. We can just wait till Thursday night, and I will be down at the meeting to answer any questions that may come up, Dad added. I am hopeful. Well, that's great, honey, said Mom. What would you like for dinner, she asked. How about we order some pizza from Luigi's, asked Dad. We haven't done that in a while. Okay, said Mom. I'll call them right now and order ahead of us driving down there, she stated. Great, said Dad. I just want to run upstairs to the bathroom and wash up. Mom ordered 2 medium pizzas, one with the works and the other with sausage and mushrooms that Bobby liked. Dad would end up eating some of both. Once Mom got off the phone, she waited for Bill to head down the stairs, and she and Bobby headed out to the car with Dad right behind. He closed the door and made sure it was locked. Ever the insurance man. They headed down toward River Street, crossed the bridge, and took a right as Luigi's was about a half a mile down the road. The parking lot was pretty full, so it was a good idea that Mom had to call ahead. They parked and went inside. A big, barrel-chested Italian man came out to greet Dad. It was Luigi himself, and he and Dad had gone to school together. Luigi took over the restaurant from his dad, who started it over 30 years ago, and Bill had been their insurance agent for half of that time. It was good business to support your customers' businesses. Come in and have a seat, Mr. Bill, said Luigi, with a huge twin of Italy in his voice. Nice of you to come and bring the pretty missus with you, said Luigi. She is such a young woman, and beautiful. Was she at 12 when you married her? Asked Luigi with a big laugh. Mom, were you 12 when you married Dad? Asked Bobby, most seriously. No, said Mom matter-of-factly. Luigi is just being nice, as he wants me to run away with him, she said with a big wink. I will keep trying, he said with a big smile and a laugh. I'll have your pizza out in a minute, he stated, as he headed back to the kitchen area. Oh, Luigi is something else, hey, Bobby, said Dad. He sure is, said Bobby. Another waiter brought out the 2 pizzas, and Luigi came back out with a mandolin and started singing at their table. Everyone nearby stopped eating and looked up, and Luigi started singing. When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore. He finished the song, and everyone gave him a big round of applause. He took a huge bow. Bill looked at Luigi and said, I guess this dinner and the music is going to cost me a pretty penny, Dad stated. Well, of course, said Luigi with a big laugh. You can't get this level of entertainment anywhere in town, you know, he added. He was right, of course, and Bobby was impressed. Everyone enjoyed their pizza, and Bill, when he went up to the counter to pay, he and Luigi shared a big hug and a bigger smile. You can tell that Luigi not only made the best pizza in town, but he had a great time doing it. Bobby just had to ask when they got into the car, Mom, are you sure you didn't get married at 12? Asked Bobby one more time. No, Bobby, I did not, she stated. Dad could only laugh. So did Mom and Bobby. Just checking, added Bobby.